Hello everyone, my name is Hannah. Welcome to a new video. Today's video is going to be my fall book haul. So all of the books that I have bought or acquired somehow in the months of September and October. So first off, I thought I would start with my book of the month picks. So for September, I chose Killers of a Certain Age by Deanna Raybourn. This is the same author as the Veronica Speedwell mystery series, which I absolutely adore. And this is not related to that at all. It is about these older women who are like ex-assassins, I think. And I believe they're in their 60s. They're retired now. And then like something happens where like they have to like fight for themselves or something, like somebody's trying to come after them or something. Not gonna lie, I am not really interested in this, but I really like Deanna Raybourn's writing, so I'm not even sure if I'm gonna read this one. I just picked it because I know it's Deanna Raybourn, so I'll probably at least give it a try because I might end up loving it, but it just doesn't sound super interesting to me. It's like a thriller and I'm just not in the mood for thrillers right now. But I do want to give this a try, but just looking at this right now, I'm like, I don't know if I want to read that. But whatever, I picked it for my September pick, and then I did have an add-on for September. I chose Other Birds by Sarah Addison Allen. I have read a few of Sarah Addison Allen's other books. She writes mainly magical realism, especially like in a small town romance kind of setting. So when I saw this was a pick, I knew that I liked her writing and like the way that she does magical realism. So I did this as an add-on. And then October's book of the month pick, I chose Thistlefoot by Jenna Rose Nethercott. This is a Baba Yaga like reimagining. Baba Yaga is a character in this, but it follows Baba Yaga's like great-great-grandchildren, and it follows Baba Yaga's house, the house on chicken feet, also known as Thistlefoot. And the house is like sentient and obviously can move around because of the feet. But it mainly follows the two siblings and how they are like kind of touched with magic a little bit. So it's a bit of a darker fairy tale retelling, but this just seemed like a good October pick. So I chose this one and I didn't do any add-ons for October. Next up here, I have The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. This is the Barnes & Noble signed exclusive edition, and I read Once Upon a Broken Heart, but I got that in August for my birthday, but I wanted to get the sequel, and I especially wanted to get the very beautiful Barnes & Noble exclusive edition that is signed. And so when this came out, I ordered this one. I am very excited to start this one, but this is very whimsical and very wintry, so I've been kind of like saving this one for when it snows because I think it's going to be the perfect ambiance. And I just love the whimsy of this story, or like I loved it in Once Upon a Broken Heart, and I'm really hoping that's the same in this book. So I got the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. I think it's gorgeous and it matches, well, the cover, the undercover matches my copy of Once Upon a Broken Heart. I don't have the dust jacket for Once Upon a Broken Heart. I just have the regular dust jacket. But yeah, I bought this when it came out, and I think it came out in September, if I'm remembering correctly. These next three I'm going to talk about all at once because they're kind of linked to The Ballad of Never After, and that is the Caraval trilogy by Stephanie Garber. There is a character, one of the main characters in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series that is featured in this series, and it's like this is set before that series. So I wanted to read these before I go into Ballad of Never After, so I ordered the used copies of these. I think I got Caraval and Legendary on Pango Books, and I got a used copy of Finale through some third-party seller on Amazon, but it is like, you can see it's kind of like not in the best shape, but what can you do? But yeah, I actually DNF'd Caraval like several years ago, but I wanted to give it another shot because I want the backstory of that character in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. And I did end up really enjoying this, and after I realized that I was really enjoying this, that's when I ordered the other two books because I just wanted to give this another shot, and if I still didn't like it, I wasn't going to force it. But these are like very magical, like circusy, kind of like themed around some kind of magical game, and it still has that like whimsical writing, not quite as like full of whimsy as the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, but I'm really excited to have these. I do wish my copy of Finale was in a little bit better shape, but it's not that bad. But yeah, I wanted to read this series before going into The Ballad of Never After, so that's why I got these. Then I have my copy of Kingdom of the Feared by Carrie Maniscalco. This is one of my most anticipated releases of this year. And this is the Waterstones exclusive edition. So I think the cover might be like slightly different and maybe has more red on it. But the hardcover, like the naked hardcover, has some like gold foiling and art on it, which is really cool. I still haven't read this one, but it is one of my most anticipated books. I just want to reread the first two before going into this one, but I waited a long time for this book, and then I had to wait even longer because I pre-ordered from the UK to get the Waterstones exclusive edition, and so it took just even longer to get to me. So I'm happy to finally have this in my hands. Then I got my hands on a copy of I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. So this is a memoir all about Jeanette McCurdy and her experience as a child actress and having a very abusive mother. And this was like sold out everywhere for the longest time, and when it finally became available again, I ordered it right away. I do have the audiobook for this because I know Jeanette McCurdy narrates the audiobook for it, but Brandon also wanted to read this one, and so he wanted the physical copy of it, so I just ordered it so we can like kind of share this one. But haven't read it yet, but I'm definitely interested. I've heard nothing but glowing reviews about this, and I'm really interested to hear her story. So I got the physical copy of this. I do have the audiobook. I plan on listening to the audio, but Brandon wanted to read it physically, so got that. Next up here, I have Belladonna by Adeline Grace. This is the cool first printing where it has like the cool hardcover. This is only for the first printing, and so whenever they do the second printing of it, it won't have this like cool art on the cover. I did kind of want the Barnes & Noble exclusive where it's a lot darker, like the background is more of a dark purple, but this white is kind of growing on me, and I just love how this looks, especially that. Oh, so pretty. And the end pages are really pretty. But yeah, Lachlan and Rachel were reading this one, and I was like, should I pick that up? Because I don't really know very much about it. I just know that it's YA technically, but it's like YA, but like on the upper side of YA. I think the main character is like 19, but it's like kind of got a bit of a fantasy element to it, a little bit kind of paranormal more is what I would say. And then it's like set in like a very gothic kind of setting. So yeah, I wanted to pick this one up for our 24-hour readathon because I knew Lachlan read it and Rachel read it or was going to read it, and so I wanted to read it as well. And so I picked up my copy, and I'm really glad that I got the like cool first print edition. I also picked up another copy of A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive paperback edition. So it's got like the black cover. All of the other paperback editions have the orange cover, and this, it's so floppy. But yeah, I don't even know if it has any like additional things. I don't think it has anything apart from just like a different cover. But obviously I had to get this for my shelf, and I just think like the black and like the silver just looks so cool. So I'm really excited to have this, even though I have like 5 copies of this book. I'm really happy to have this cool paperback. All right, now I have a few romances to talk about. So I picked up a copy of There Is No Devil by Sophie Lark. This is the limited edition illustrated cover with like the snakes on it. But I picked this up immediately in September because I read There Are No Saints and I gave it 5 stars and I absolutely loved it. And so I wanted to get the sequel. And so yeah, I picked this one up. I kind of want the like original covers of this, but you can't get them anywhere. Like on Sophie Lark's website, it just links you to Amazon and links you to these covers. And like nobody's selling them on Pango Books or on Depop or anything. So if you know where I can find the original covers, like with the people on them, please let me know. I do really love these covers, and I think they're really pretty. I like the black and the white and the like snake symbolism for the series. But yeah, I picked this up right away so I could read it right away after finishing There Are No Saints. I also picked up a copy of The Doctor by Nikki Sloan because I was gifted a copy of The Pool Boy, and I think this was a gift for my birthday. Yes, from Kaylee Reads Romance. She gifted this to me for my birthday, so I might have hauled this in my birthday book haul, but I'm just going to talk about them together. So this was a gift for my birthday from Kaylee, And then this is the second book in the Nashville Neighborhood series, and so I wanted to read the first book as well. So I bought the first book, which is The Doctor, and it is an age gap romance. It's ex-boyfriend's dad romance, and he's a doctor, obviously. And then this one is also an age gap romance, but the guy is the younger one, and so it's an older woman, which I feel like you don't see a lot of in age gap romances. And it's also best friend's son romance. So very taboo, and I really enjoyed these. This isn't a wrap-up. I don't know why I'm talking like it's a wrap-up, but I got these two. This one was a gift. This one I bought so that I could read it before reading the second one. Oh, then early in September, I got The American Roommate Experiment by Elena Armas. I pre-ordered this because I loved The Spanish Love Deception so much, and this is their next book, and so I was really excited to read this. It's a companion to The Spanish Love Deception because the main character from the first book, Lena, it's her best friend Rosie, and then Lena's cousin Lucas. It's a romance between those two, but yeah, I didn't like this one. Again, it's not a wrap-up, but I did pre-order this because it was one of my most anticipated books of this year. It was a big letdown for me, but I pre-ordered this and it came out, I think, early September. Then my mom surprised me with a gift with a book off of my Amazon wish list. She wanted to get me a little bit of a pick-me-up, so she picked out The Roughest Draft by Emily Wibberley and Austin Siegmund Broca. So this is a romance. I think it might be a second chance romance, or maybe it's like a rivals to lovers romance. I'm not really sure. I just see this one get compared to Book Lovers a lot, and so like Book Lovers and Beach Read, and I love both of those, and so I added this to my wish list. And my mom currently right now is reading Book Lovers and she's loving it, so she's like, if you like this one, maybe I'll have to borrow it. So I haven't read it yet, but thank you so much, Mom, for gifting me this. And then the last books on this little book haul are books that I just bought yesterday, and that is the first 3 volumes in Spy Family. So I have read volume 1. I got it from my library and I absolutely loved it, but my library doesn't have any of the other volumes, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna have to buy them because I loved this first one, and I know that like people say it just gets better and better, and so I bought volumes 2 and 3. Volume 3 has been really hard to find lately. I know people were like really having a hard time finding it, so when I saw it at the bookstore, I was like, you know what, let me just get these first 3, and once I read these, I'll be getting the rest of the series. But yeah, I just decided to do a little treat yourself and got the first 3 volumes of Spy Family. So that is my little fall book haul. I mean, it's a big stack, but for 2 months, I feel like it's not that many books. I could have bought way more, but because I had just had my birthday in August, I was gifted so many books so kindly from all of my friends and from Brandon. So I had so many books, and like I'm sure you all know, I keep my physical TBR pretty low, or try to, so I hadn't been buying as many books, but I'm like, my physical TBR is now getting down to a more manageable size, so I feel like my end of the year book haul might be a little bit bigger. But yeah, that is it for this video. Leave the little like cash, like the flying cash emoji if you made it to the end of this video, and just like leave a comment. I love reading your guys' comments. They just make my day, and they're just so much fun to read, and it's fun to interact with you guys. So leave a comment, leave the emoji, whatever you want to do. But don't forget to click like and subscribe while you're down there as well to help support me and my channel. And thank you again so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye!